start the day's other headlines with a growing crisis in Congo. A rebel group known as M23, which is backed by Rwanda, has claimed the critical city of Goma in the country's east. It's a major trade center home to about 2 million people. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced during a decades-long conflict, which the UN calls one of the most serious humanitarian crises on Earth. The taking of Goma was met with protests in the capital, with demonstrators targeting foreign embassies, including France, the U.S., Uganda, and others. They accuse the countries of supporting Rwanda, which they say has fueled the conflict.
What
Rwanda is doing is in collusion with France, Belgium, and the United States of America and others. Congolese people are tired. How many times do we have to die, and in how many days?
Rwanda has denied supporting the M23 rebel group, but admitted to keeping troops and missile systems inside Congo to protect its own borders. The U.S. State Department advised American citizens today to shelter in place and to leave the country while they still can. Oklahoma's Board of Education voted unanimously today to require parents to provide proof of their child's immigration status when enrolling them in public schools. Under the proposed rule, parents would have to show a U.S. birth certificate, passport, permanent resident card, or other legal document. Those without legal status can still enroll, but school districts would be required to report the number of those without documentation to state education officials. At a press conference today, Oklahoma State School Superintendent Ryan Walters explained why he thinks the data is necessary.
We want to make sure that all that information is gathered so that we can make decisions on where resources go, where personnel goes, and we can continue to make sure that Oklahoma is leading the country in education reform.
Today, students and parents protested the board's decision. The rule still needs approval from Oklahoma's legislature and governor. In Hawaii, one of the world's most active volcanoes is erupting once again. Nearby webcams captured the Kilauea volcano spewing lava as high as 120 feet in the air today. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says it's the 7th eruption since December. They've lasted anywhere between 13 hours to 8 days. Officials say high levels of volcanic gas are a primary concern for anybody in the area, but the lava does not pose any risks to homes or businesses. On Wall Street today, stocks recovered some ground after yesterday's turbulence in the AI sector. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added more than 130 points on the day. The Nasdaq jumped nearly 400 points, regaining a good chunk of Monday's losses. The S&P 500 also ended firmly in positive territory. And the most visited museum in the world is getting a much-needed renovation.
Vive la nouvelle renaissance du Louvre. Vive la République et vive la France.
If you don't speak French, he said, "Long live the Louvre's new renaissance." And with those words, French President Emmanuel Macron announced the project today in front of the museum's most famous resident, the Mona Lisa. The plans include giving the Da Vinci masterpiece her own dedicated room. The project is expected to take up to a decade and cost hundreds of millions of euros. The museum's last upgrade dates back to the 1980s when the iconic glass pyramid was installed. Since then, it's become plagued by outdated facilities and overcrowding. Still to come on the NewsHour, Southern California eyes the extent of its long recovery from this month's deadly wildfires. And we sit down with Grammy-winning jazz vocalist Samara Joy, who's up for more awards on Sunday.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.